Operators of the FPV drones of the 12th Azov Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine destroyed a group of Russian infantry near Terny, Donetsk Region. The press service of the Azov Brigade reported on this. The enemy infantrymen tried to hide near a damaged BMP-1 that was standing in the middle of the field. The Russian soldiers attempted to evade the FPV drones, but the expertise of the Azov Brigade pilots left them with no opportunity to flee. One of the Russian invaders hid inside a damaged infantry fighting vehicle and closed the door behind him, but this did not save him from the drone. Terny previously reported that during the battle near the village of Terny in the Donetsk region, Azov soldiers captured the Russian T-72B3 tank. The military shared that the intelligence first spotted the armored group of Russians moving towards the positions of the Ukrainian defense forces in the Kreminna sector. After that, Azov Brigade soldiers and the 95th Airborne Brigade defeated the enemy column of tanks and infantry fighting vehicles. Other units were also involved in repelling the attack. After the battle was over, Azov soldiers pulled the damaged Russian tank off the battlefield. On April 3rd, it was reported that a night FPV drone of the 12th Azov Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine destroyed a Russian TOS-1A Solntsepiok heavy flamethrower system in the Donetsk region. The heavy flamethrower system was on its way to attack the positions of the Ukrainian defense forces in the Kreminna sector. It was discovered and destroyed on the march near the village of Terny, located on the border of the Luhansk and Donetsk regions. The ammunition of the combat vehicle immediately detonated, leaving no chance for the crew to survive. Russia appears on track to sustain more than 330,000 casualties in Ukraine in 2024. Statistics published by Kyiv indicate Russia sustained 82,970 casualties between the start of January and April 2024. According to figures published by the Ukrainian military. If Moscow continues to lose the same number of troops each day for the rest of the year, Russian forces would be on track to sustain 331,480 casualties by the end of the year, by Kyiv's count. This far exceeds the number of purported Russian casualties for 2023. According to Ukraine, the Kremlin's forces sustained 202,570 casualties last year. There are fluctuations in reported casualty counts, and the figures from Ukraine cannot be independently verified. Western analyses of Russia's likely casualty count typically come in at around 350,000 for the entirety of the full-scale war. Between February 24, 2022 and April 4, 2024, Russia lost 442,880 fighters, Kyiv's general staff has said. Despite some skepticism among analysts about the accuracy of Ukraine's statistics, the figures do offer an indication of the extraordinary toll the war has taken on Russia's military. Russia's numbers of dead and wounded spiked earlier this year as it pushed to take control of the strategic eastern Donetsk city of Avdiivka, which it captured in mid-February. The city was referred to as a meat grinder, the same label ascribed to the Donetsk settlement of Bakhmut, during months of fighting before Russia captured the city in May 2023. Earlier this month, the British government said that Russian daily average casualties had risen each year of the war. In 2022, the figure stood at 400 before rising to 693 in 2023, according to the UK Defence Ministry. For the first 3 months of 2024, Russian daily losses on average hit 913 each day, the UK government said. Russian casualties did drop in March as fighting around Avdiivka tailed off, London said, as well as in the run-up to the Russian presidential election. But Ukraine has warned Russia is gearing up for a fresh offensive push, doubling down on defenses in the northeastern city of Kharkiv under 20 miles from the Russian border, while Moscow continues to bear down on Ukrainian defenses in the eastern Donetsk region. Ukraine, staring down impending renewed Russian operations, is contending with scarce supplies and a tired if determined force. Earlier this month, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky signed off on dropping the conscription age from 27 to 25. Russia, although sustaining massive casualties, has been able to replenish its ranks. The head of the US's European Command, General Christopher Cavoli, recently said the Russian army was 15% larger now than in February 2022, and that it was learning from its mistakes. Ukraine is simply a much smaller country than Russia, and its supply of military-aged personnel available for service is accordingly smaller. Jacob Parakilis, a research leader for defense strategy, policy and capabilities with the European branch of the RAND think tank, told Newsweek.